Hello everyone, it's Megan Elizabeth with AboveRubyStudio.com. Thanks for joining me for an all-new Tuesday tutorial in my all-new craft room. I do have some Tuesday tutorials that are going to be going up, or tutorials rather, that are going up from my old craft room still, filmed before, not edited, that kind of thing, but timing, you know, whatever. But this tutorial is all about the new home decor vinyl wall art Cricut cartridge. I'm going to make a card. I did a survey on Facebook. A lot of you said you wanted to see a card. A lot of you said you wanted, some wanted to see square one and some wanted to see a scrapbook layout. So I'm going to try to squeeze all three in this week. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to do a quick card today. I wanted to show you guys the new universal overlay. This was kind of the point of this video, was more about the universal overlay. This is a new check this out kind of thing coming from Crafty Corner as well. The brand new cartridges, what's up with those? And also I wanted to show you in this video a little workaround to not have to pick up the universal overlay, and a little trick to that. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a few things. All cartridges going forward, instead of coming in the big huge box, they're going to come in these little boxes, and they're not going to come with a little overlay. You're going to have to purchase one overlay, the universal overlay, separately, or use my little workaround that I'm going to show you. And then the little handbooks are this size, and I'm going to show you guys a few tips and tricks to that. We're going to create a really cute card today. I'm going to keep this video under 15 minutes, including all the little tips and ideas here. So bear with me. This cartridge is super cute for using with Square One. So if you are a fan of Square One, if you signed up for the Square One Designers program, highly recommend picking this one up. It's cute little things for transferring vinyl or Square One, and Square One is the alternative to vinyl. If you guys really read up on vinyl, it has PVC in it and phthalates in it, which are considered toxic, and it's something that I think people are starting to work away from. It's going to be worked away from more. It's just people don't know how toxic it really is. So Square One is an adhesive-backed fabric. It's an alternative to that. So those heavy-duty vinyl users out there, start checking into Square One. Some fabulous color collections. You can print on the printable sheets, any background, any color, anything you want. Do print and cut with your Cameo. You can do print and cut with your Imagine. There's just so many different options. If you're working with your Cricut, there's some really cute things on here, and if you guys go through, you can flip through each individual thing. There's great Sweet Dreams little one, like things for baby's room. There's cute little icons, boys stuff, girls stuff. It's all in here. I love these flowers. I thought about doing these flowers in my backdrop, so we'll see. I might actually end up doing those. And then when you go to the back, you can see little numbers here on the side. This little 5" is not the recommended size to cut it out at. It's the smallest size that you should cut it out at. And I did another video showing this, and I wanted to show you. This is life. It doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. This is 5". So remember, Cricut always measures from highest point to lowest point, so from top to bottom. The letters will not cut small enough, or they won't be able to cut if you go any smaller than 5" with this. So you can also do up to, you know, your 12 by 24 mat kind of thing with these as well. So it really does give you like a 5" minimum on many of them. Some of them you can go a lot smaller. You can do your, you know, whatever size increments you want. But the ones that have that little red circle, you're going to want to take note to that for that. And then the other thing that you're going to see is you're going to see little numbers in green in these little boxes, as well as a little overlay that you're going to be able to see, and it's going to tell you what button on your universal overlay you need to press. So for example, if you want to cut out "When I Grow Up I Want to Be Like Daddy," that's button number 24, and you can see it right there, coordinating 24. Now if you grab an older overlay, preferably a font overlay is what I like to kind of say. If you check out your font, you're going to be able to see like your M lines up with your M. So I'm using the Artiste, which, by the way, exciting happy news. I am going to be selling the Close to My Heart Cricut cartridges. You guys will find a direct link on AboveRubyStudio.com. These are my top 3 favorite cartridges of all time, and I decided to go ahead and dive in with these cartridges because I love and believe in them so much, and I'm promoting them so much, and everybody's always asking me where to get them. So you can now get them through my website at AboveRubyStudio.com. There will be a link there and a link on this video as well. Artiste, Art Philosophy, and Art Booking are my 3 top favorite Cricut cartridges ever. I've been saying that for months and months and months and months. I've been working with Melanie from Courtney Lane Designs. I love her to death, and So her and I are working together on this, and now you guys can get these through Above Review Studio. So excited about that. But if you grab the Artiste or another font cartridge, and you guys can see it has the same buttons on the side. Accent 1, just replace it as Function 1, Function 2. I mean, it's the same kind of thing here. It has the same buttons that you're going to need to really worry about. Load mat, unload mat, set cut area, load last, repeat last. All of those things that are standard pretty much on every cartridge overlay that there is out there. Some of them say load material instead of load mat, but that's, you know, really irrelevant information there. And then the other thing that you can do is, even though there's numbers on each and every one of these for the universal overlay, for each and every one of the images, one of the things that I used to do, if you watch Cricut A to Z and some of the older videos, is I used to number a lot of my handbooks. Now this one is not numbered. Some of the newer ones I just kind of gave up doing. But if you go through and number these, starting at image 1, and a lot of the newer ones have a little overlay in there that show you what button it is on your overlay, making it like really easy. But if you go through and you do 1, 1, all the way up to 110, because there's 10 buttons on each row, you're going to be able to know this is row 1, button 1. If you go to image 10 here, so that should be this one. Yep, this would be, so 0 and then Q for here is actually 10. You start the number 2, 1. So this is the second row, first button, and then you just go all the way across. So you're always going to know what button it is on your overlay without having to go and actually purchase a universal overlay. If you're going to be getting a lot of the new cartridges, I say go ahead and pick it up. It's not very expensive. Crafty Corner has them right now in stock. So some people, it'll just make life a lot easier. You know what button it is, and that's the end of it. But for those who want to go through and label their old cartridges and just use, you know, your standard font overlay, you're going to be able to do just fine. You're getting kind of the same idea. You could even go through each one of your buttons on here, and with just a fine point permanent marker, you could do the same thing. So Q would be 11, 12, 13, etc. And you could label all the way up to 50 on here if you really wanted to. You could even use, because square 1 is removable, repositionable, you could create your own overlay from square 1 masterpiece, just cutting out little squares with the numbers on them that match. And it's basically, all it is numbering these 1 through 50 on your overlay. So it's that easy. Hopefully that gives you a little idea, but if you're going to be using it a lot, go ahead and pick it up. It makes life easy. It's a relatively inexpensive purchase. Okay, so that is overall what I needed to tell you guys about that and this new cartridge. And we're going to go ahead and get started making a card. So we're already, I said we're going to be under 15 minutes, and I'm already 8 minutes in just yammering on about the overlay. But I think it gives you guys a good, hopefully some good tips and ideas here. So we're going to turn our Cricut on. I'm going to put in the new Home Decor Vinyl Wall Art cartridge. Again, I'm going to be using it mostly with Square 1 Masterpiece, that really great alternative to vinyl. I'm going to go ahead and throw that universal overlay on since I do have it. And we're going to create a card. There's just some really cute things in here. You can do these for great scrapbook layouts as well. There's just a lot of, I don't know. I still love my Cricut. I know I have a Cameo. I like the way that cuts. There's some great things with the Cameo. I'm just still, and now that they're discontinuing the original Cricut Expression, I'm sad, very sad that kind of get your hands on it while you can. They're switching completely to the E2 and the Mini, but it's okay. All right, I love this Believe in Yourself. I think it's adorable. It says the minimum height to cut it out at is 5 inches. So I'm going to show you guys what happens if you cut it out less than 5 inches. And we are going to make a card from this. Let's see. I'm going to do, I have paper from Amy Butler. This is K & Company, some of her designs. I think it's beautiful. I loved the matching stripes, but going 2 different directions, so I thought we'd do something cute with that. And then I have 2 different complementing solid color cardstocks that go as well. So we'll make one a card base and we'll make one our image. So if you went in, I'm just gonna move this over here. If you went in at 4 inches, and I can change my blade depth, speed, and pressure here because I'm using heavy cardstock. And you pressed, this is button number 9, so you can find number 9 right here. You can see it's there on the overlay. It's going to pop up in your screen. I have Material Saver on. It's up to you whether or not you use that. Go ahead and hit cut. Now it will cut at your smaller size, but it's going to be, you know, a lot smaller than really recommended. You want to be really careful. So like that 5 inches really is the smallest you're going to want to cut it out at, especially if you're doing a wall decor with it. But, you know, a lot of times when you're doing these, you're going to want to just go ahead and do a full fit to page. You know, if you're doing a 12 by 24, 12 by 18, or 12 by 12, fit to page for sticking it on a wall or sticking it on a stencil or sticking it on something like that. I think that really is your best kind of bet. So we're going to see how this cuts out for us here. Unload this. Now there's a few like paper boogies here, so I'm hoping that we're not going to have too much of a rip or tear. This is why it recommends like that 5 inches, because you could get some of those rips or tears like in my little, mostly in my flourishes I have some rips. So I'd be willing to bet you if I went to the 5 inches, there wouldn't be those rips. I'm going to an A2 size card, so that's an 8.5 by 11 cut in half. I'm going to do it at 4 1/4, cut it at 4 1/4 inches. Except I cut it the wrong direction. I should have cut it this way. Oh, that does not make it a standard A2 size card. So if I was going to do a standard A2 size card and I wanted to do it the way I was originally going to do it, I needed to cut it lengthwise at 4 1/4 inches, not widthwise. Silly me, but that's okay. Now we have a square card, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square card that we're going to use instead. Improvise. Need my spatula and my bone folder. This is thick cardstock, so I'm going to go ahead and get a good crease in there. Now with that being 4 1/4 inches, what I want to do is cut my diagonal stripes at 4 inches. I want a 4-inch square. I want my green at 3 3/4 inches square. And then I want this at 3 1/2 inches square. And I'm actually going to take from kind of the center here. And this should layer up pretty well with my kind of on that. Layer all 3 layers on there on this card. And because my flourishes kind of got ripped a little bit, I don't know that I'm going to be using them anyway. Because I did 4 inches, that's going to be around a 4-inch by 4-inch image. But like I said, it got a little ripped by not doing that 5-inch. If I would have done a standard A2 size card and paid attention to the direction of my paper, it might fit a little bit better. I'm just making this, you know, each layer 1/4 inch smaller. Using my Glue Glider Pro as my adhesive. Don't need a ton of it, just a couple quick strips to really get the job done. That's really pretty too. I love that pattern. The pattern on the reverse side of the stripes, isn't that pretty? I really love that paper collection a lot. I love a lot of K & Company, and most of them are available right now at craftycorner.com. Now I have an idea of who this card is actually going to. I need to make literally about 14 thank you cards right now. I literally owe people about 14 thank you cards, and I know I don't owe them, but I do. I owe them. With this move, somebody decided to pay for a moving truck. They knew that I was in the hospital, I was having high blood pressure issues, I was having all kinds of things happen. And somebody paid for a moving truck to come and move the kids and I into the new house. And then Benson's school teacher decided to make us a meal the day we moved in. So I don't know what school teachers out there actually take time to do that, but she really just wanted us to know that we were loved, and I just was so appreciative of that. I've just had so many people helping. Carly and her mom were here helping me move. My friend Kayla was here helping me move, or unpack rather. Nobody actually had to move, but the whole church youth group came over and packed the rest of my apartment. I think there were 37 kids there one evening, and they just like packed boxes and ate pizza and had a great time. So I am going to just place these letters on here, and I need to grab adhesive. Okay, so now that that's all glued on there, I'm going to grab my Ice White Viva Decor Pearl Pen, and I'm going to add some pearls just kind of around where some of those tears are from making it a little too small. Just kind of, I don't know, finishing it off a little bit, adding a little bit more just to the card itself. You don't have to go crazy. And make them just about any size that you want. Pearl pens are available right now at Crafty Corner. Somebody just emailed me again going, I don't know where you get your pearl pens. Either get them through Viva Decor directly, which I don't think they are selling them directly anymore. You can only get them through retailers, and it's Viva Decor USA. There is another Viva brand out there that isn't truly Viva Decor. And they do pearl pens and glitter, but you want to look for the Viva Decor USA or Viva Decor US, and Crafty Corner carries that brand for sure, just so you guys know. And that is today's card. I think it's pretty darn cute, and I like how like the BU in there is, you know, a little bit more bold and highlighted and set off for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's Tuesday tutorial. I'm really excited to be crafting in the new craft space and coming back at you guys with a lot more videos often at AboveRubyStudio.com. Bye-bye.